We will now be welcoming Ishwari Sogale, a principal DP1 learner and aspiring psychologist whose interest in psychology is not just academic. Her ambition leaks into her everyday life. Ishwari interestingly networks through her essays and articles, aiming to build new connections with congenial strangers. With her leisure interest in motorsport having molded her character, she thrives under pressure, as seen through one more feather in her hat as best delegate at Oxford MUN. Please give a round of applause to Ishwari Sogale.
Leclerc takes him towards the inside. Perez on the inside. Charles Leclerc gives him just enough space. Can Perez squeeze past? They're going wheel to wheel towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Leclerc has that inside line. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff coming out of the final corner. Perez and Leclerc going for it. Hamilton says thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One, one of the world's most high-speed and high-stakes motorsports. 10 teams with 2 drivers each compete to build the fastest car and get to the checkered flag first. The sheer engineering, physics, business management, and money that go into this would boggle the minds of you and me. But today, I'm going to talk about a slightly different aspect of the sport: the psychology behind Formula One. When I started watching F1, I was curious about how these drivers, who drive at average speeds of 322 kilometers per hour, with 24 different tracks in a season, each with a different number of turns and straights, with different starting positions, where quick reflexes and smart strategy can be the thing that makes or breaks the championship, manage to race. Of course, it involves heavy physical training, analysis of weather patterns around the track region, and discuss strategy beforehand. But most of it comes from here: the mind. Teams make use of certain concepts in psychology to ensure the best results in races. For example, back when Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion, was still racing, he could be found sitting in his unmoving car a few hours before qualifying. While in the car, he used to mentally go through the lap. He used to think about what specific key points to focus on and what things could be improved as compared to the last run. It seemed strange at first to me, but then I found out that this is actually a psychological technique called visualization. It is the process of creating mental scenarios of the desired goal. Performing visualization activates the same neural pathways in your head as that are engaged in the actual experience. Thus, it prepares the brain for real-time engagement. Doing this enables athletes to achieve peak performance, since it helps them with strategizing, reduces stress, and enhances motivation, self-esteem, and motor skills. So, the next time stage fear overtakes you, imagine yourself walking onto the stage and giving the speech flawlessly and confidently. It's exactly what I did before I walked in here, and so far, I'd say it's working. Formula One mechanics are the people who perform pit stops in a race. Pit stops are when cars halt for a duration of mere 2 seconds to get their tires changed and other maintenance and repairs carried out. These mechanics are so talented at what they do, they can perform these pit stops in complete darkness. Isn't it intriguing how they're able to do that? Well, this is called automaticity, the ability to carry out tasks rapidly and effortlessly without conscious attention. An automaticity like this can only be achieved through repetition and practice. The average F1 team performs about 60 practice pit stops per race. That's 1,440 times per single season of Formula One. Only then are they able to pull off incredibly fast pit stops that are missed within the blink of an eye. We too experience automaticity several times in a day without even realizing it. most of the activities we do, such as typing, brushing our teeth, driving cars at normal speeds, are all being performed by you with minimum attention levels as a resource, emptying space in your brain for more pressing matters. If you want to become excellent at, let's say, playing the piano, practicing repetition is a way to achieve automaticity in this activity. Formula One is a sport where the participants have to grapple with the imminent risks of going around circuits at such breakneck speeds. Several F1 drivers have suffered crashes while racing. Perhaps one of the most memorable ones is that of Niki Lauda, whose Ferrari crashed in 1976. The crash caused him third-degree burns to his head, face, and hands, along with respiratory damage when he inhaled toxic smoke after sitting in a raging inferno for a whole 50 seconds before he was pulled out. His car was going at a speed of 193 kilometers before it hit the wall. And yet, despite these injuries, Niki Lauda, the man on fire, was back in his car seat a mere 40 days after the accident, with the bandages still on his head. He finished fourth in his first race after the crash and went on to win the championship the year after, and another one in 1984. His sheer grit to continue to race was what put him back in the car seat. Psychologist Angela Duckworth explains grit as a combination of passion and perseverance for achieving long-term goals. Putting in consistent effort, resilience, and determination, grit helps you overcome adversity. In terms of our personal lives, we must challenge our comfort zones, reassess failure, and practice optimism as a means of cultivating grit. Ayrton Senna's qualifying lap at the 1988 Monaco Grand Prix is something that still makes its rounds in the F1 fan base. He recorded a lap time of 1 minute and 23.998 seconds, a whopping 1.427 seconds faster than his teammate in the same car. In F1 terms, that's a huge difference. Racing in the tight and narrow corners of the Monaco Street circuit, at a critical moment in the championship, where the results of the qualifying run would make a massive difference, Senna describes his lap in these words. He said, "I was in a different dimension." He also said that he was well beyond his conscious understanding and that the circuit was a tunnel and he simply kept going, and going. It almost sounds unnatural, so it got me thinking, what had enabled Senna to achieve this lap time? Well, it turns out that this is one of the best demonstrations of what psychologists call the state of flow. The flow state is where an individual experiences complete immersion and engagement in the task that they're doing. This experience enhances dopamine levels and reduces self-criticism. It leads to effortless performance and makes the activity in itself rewarding. And we too can enter this productive flow state by minimizing background distractions, avoiding multitasking, and setting clear goals of what we want to achieve. Formula One is undoubtedly a sport of automotive innovation and engineering marvels. But in today's era, almost every car has the same level of cutting-edge technology. Every team has the same level of cutting-edge technology to power their cars. So ultimately, it's the driver who has the right mindset and mental capacity who climbs onto the podium. Having the right state of mind before stepping on the throttle is crucial for every race. It made me curious, what is that something that puts these drivers on the path of greatness? And as an avid F1 fan, I realized that it's the mental aspect as well as the physical prowess. And we too can make use of these psychological techniques when we come across a particularly rough patch of road. Because, as Ayrton Senna said, with your mind power, your determination, your instinct, and the experience as well, you can fly very high. Thank you.
Seeing the fervent sentiments spill through your profound convictions was simply incredible. Thank you so much, Ishwari. I would now like to call upon design heads Vanya Bhatia, Ishan Iyer, and Sanjali Panda to felicitate Ishwari.